Modest Buzelis says the quiet part out loud in regards to what the city of Chicago deserves from the Chicago Bulls. But the question is AK listening? We're talking a little bit about that. Plus, no Essengue sits out a summer league game. And which of the Chicago Bulls players is going to fall out of the rotation? We'll talk about all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Hayes, host, creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control over your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Everydayers, we're back to talk about the Chicago Bulls team. Modest Buzelis was interviewed after, I think, the third Summer League game in regards to the city of Chicago. And he talked about how he's from Chicago, how the Bulls mean a lot to him, how the city means a lot to him. And he talked about how Bulls fans and the city deserve more. And Modest, this has been a summer in which Modest has said a lot of things that Bulls fans think, and I feel you could tell that he's actually a fan of the team. The problem isn't that Modest Buzelis, or I think any other player, realizes that the Bulls need more, or Bulls fans deserve more. It's the people in the front office. It's Jerry. It's Michael Reinsdorf. It's those people. Pat, what do you think about the words from Modest Buzelis? And then, as I said in the intro, is anybody listening to what Modest is saying?
Listen, Modest is saying what, like you said, what we all want to hear. And it's good to know that somebody up there is listening to what Bulls fans feel and is feeling what Bulls fans feel. Like he said, he's from the city. He probably grew up watching his team a ton, probably grew up a Bulls fan, probably grew up going to Bulls camps, if we're being honest. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot there where you want to, you have a pride about being from the city that you're from, and you want to be the reason that the team starts to turn the tide. Modest is talking a lot with the same conversations that we're all having around this team, understanding the doubts that we all have around the process on this team, and wanting to go out there and be able to prove to all of us that no, it's not that we don't care. It's that we've had to get to this point. We do care, and we're trying to build this in the right direction. We'll see. There's been a lot of lip service around this team, not really from Modest, but we've seen players on this team say one thing and do another. But I think that there is a lot to be said about the fact that Modest Buzelis is the one that hears it. And listen, no matter what happens, and we'll see what his talent level is and how he's able to go out there and play, the players on the court are the ones that need to hear it. Like the front office can hear it. Yeah, we want them to win and yada, yada, yada. Michael Jordan is 100% right. Like, yes, you got to build the team the right way. I ain't never seen a front office people take a game-winning free throw. Take a game-winning jump shot. The players need to know it. The players need to understand it. The players need to feel that pressure of, hey, I play for the Chicago Bulls. This is the same team Michael Jordan played for. This is the same team that is one of the best fan bases in the sport. We need to play at the level that shows that the fans can respect that. And I think we saw that from the Bulls team in the second half of last season. They played with a level that, I mean, we left the season at a minimum. I'm not saying that, it was a dominant, finish to the season, but every game you watched last season in that second half, you said this team cares about going out there and competing. And I think that's where it starts for Bulls fans in every aspect.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but like they competed, they fought, they also seemed like they were having fun, and they enjoyed each other. Like there are times during the season where, like, I'm not saying that DeMar, Zach, and Vooch all didn't get along, because I do think they all got along off the court, but I think it's different. Like, I don't feel like that team ever had fun outside of that initial run when Lonzo and everybody was healthy. I don't think that team was ever having fun. That team was fighting for them lives just to have a worse record year after year, right? Like that team to end the season seemed like it was having fun. They were enjoying each other, and they were competing very hard. A lot of people like to make that record about the win-loss record against certain teams. It wasn't just about the win-loss record. It was about how you competed against some of those teams, even in games that you did lose against. And that team was a team that competed. And I've said this many times, I understand why there's an inclination from AK, the front office, to say, hey, let's see how much of what we ended the season is going to be legitimate. Let's not change very much with this team. Let's make some strategic additions, and then let's see really how much this is in, because long term, you can come off almost everybody's a free agent at the end of the year. We got like 5 players under contract next year. So this is the year that if you want to take a look and say, we got to make sure what we saw last year is legit. How much of this is legit? And then we can make our decisions on how we need to move forward. But, you're right. Bulls fans, like, we're one of the biggest cities, the most important cities in the world, right? Like, the Bulls are one of the biggest franchises in the world. I read an article like a year or so ago where like the Chicago Bulls logo is like the 5th most recognizable logo behind Batman, Jesus, and some other ones, bro. Like, the cross is number 1. It's like Jesus, Batman, Superman, and I can't remember. McDonald's, and then the Bulls. It's something like that as far as most recognizable logos in the world.
Wait a minute. Shout out to Jordan, because this is all off of the back of Michael Jordan, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
This is all off the back of Michael Jordan. So you're telling me it's Jesus, Jordan, McDonald's?
McDonald's, Batman and Superman.
Batman and Superman, bro.
Yeah.
He really is Black Jesus. He really.
I mean, that does bring that together.
Bro, that's insane, bro. He said, hey, please find that article and send that out, bro. That may be the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Hey, bro. And the fact is that it seems like McDonald's is catching closely up to Jesus. So that says a lot about the world as well.
Right.
Like,
hey, can we get some space between Jesus and McDonald's? Like, that's crazy right now. And the Superman, I guess that's just alien Jesus. I don't know.
I mean, in a way it is. And Batman's technically Dante from Dante's Inferno. So it all links back.
And Batman and McDonald's kind of on the same path there. You eat McDonald's and you go to the bathroom.
Batman and White Castles are on the same level because it's going to be dark days with either one. Very dark days.
Oh, you're going to have a dark night, all right.
That is hilarious.
Oh, God.
Let me throw this to you while we're talking about Modest before we end this segment. Has anything, I know that we talked about like how the Bulls may view Modest in Utah, but your personal expectations for Modest, has anything in Summer League, anything in the offseason, seeing how he's changed his body, has anything changed your personal expectations for Modest Buzelis going into his second year?
I think there's going to be a lot more people getting out his way. 10 pounds of muscle look real.
Yeah, bro. They look real.
That 10 pounds of muscle look real, bro. My expectation for Modest is just to continue to take steps. Listen, he's not coming in with the pressure of a Derrick Rose, right, being the number 1 overall pick and having to put the team on his back, right? He's coming in kind of with not the Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's too low. There is expectation on Modest, but, kind of a player who it's like, you're in that perfect world where, yes, at some point, clearly, it seems like the Bulls want you to be better, but you have the time to grow in this role because the Bulls aren't there yet. If you find a way to play better this year, let's say Modest goes from, what was he finishing out the season? 12 points a game last year to finish the season.
I think 13 points.
13 points a game in the second half of the year, right? If you come into this season and you get yourself up to 18, 19 points a game, and you're being efficient like you were last season, finishing around the rim, you improve the 3 ball, right? You're making strides in the right direction to where that third year is the year where we're going to look at you and be like, this is your team. My expectation for Modest this year is just find a way to get 10% better at everything that you do. If you do that with rebounding, if you do that with scoring, if you do that with your 10% on 3-point percentage is crazy, but get 10% better as a 3-point shooter in general, just like that, a little bit better. You're one of the best players in the NBA. We had a question about top 100 players in the league that got sent to us from our channel manager, and me and Hayes were like, "You want us to give you a top 100 for this Bulls team?
For this Bulls team? What are
if
we
Modest
about?
does that, Modest will be one of those guys that is in the top 100. I don't know if he'll be a most improved player. Shay said Modest for most improved. I mean, for most improved, you got to be in the 23 to 25 range.
I don't think he's going to have the role, not with Josh Giddey and Coby on this team and Vooch still on this team, to get that much to do so. But if he does, if Modest Buzelis gets to averaging 20 points per game this season, that to me, that means things are going very well in Chicago is all I'm going to say there.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how it shakes out there. I think Modest has a great, and you said something as far as with the most a rookie with the most expectations. And I know people are going to hear me say this and think that I'm crazy because of how it went. But I think people forget how high the expectations were on P. Will after his rookie year.
Yeah.
They were very high after his rookie year. So I think Modest is right there in that same place, but hopefully he's not going to end up the same way that it went, because I can't take two heartbreaks like that, bro. I can't take it.
He got a different mentality though. The biggest question with P. Will was
always the mentality.
Is he gonna get more confident this year because he saw what he can do? No.
Hey, but with that said, we're going to talk about the next guy up who may have a lot of expectations after their rookie year, but that's Noah Essengue, who set out a summer league game. I got an interesting question for Pat. We're going to get into that right after a message from Open Phone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had an urgent need, maybe for a plumber or a service provider. If the first person didn't answer, did you wait? Probably not. You moved on. That's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system built to streamline and scale your customer communications, all from an app on your phone or computer. Open Phone lets me manage business calls and text from a single app. The shared inbox feature is a game changer. Your team can jump into any conversation instantly without missing a beat. And their AI agent handles after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you never miss a customer. OpenPhone is offering our listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's OPENPHONE.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have an existing number with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. More Locked On Bulls coming up next.
A little late on that one.
Yeah, I pushed the button first, and the button looked at me and said, "Yeah, no, I didn't get that one." I was like, "Okay, let me push it again."
Your roadcaster on Black Folk time. That's crazy.
Oh, bro, it's definitely on CP time. Like, bro, like there was one time because I used to be, I would leave everything in the studio except the camera on pretty much all throughout the day, right? But now I turn everything off, save electricity or whatever, and I'll come back and turn it on. I pushed the button. I saw the road logo, and then when I sat down to record something, it was back off. I was like, "What? You just didn't feel like showing up to work today?"
It went back on break.
It was like, you know what? I got 15 minutes left, player. How dare you? But nonetheless, Noah Essengue sat out last night's summer league game, Pat. And they quoted the thigh contusion that he suffered in game 2. Keep in mind, he played a whole game after that. But let me ask you this, and I said I had an interesting question for you. Has Noah Essengue to you shown enough to where the Bulls are right for shutting him down?
Listen, I mean, I'm fine with you shutting him down. I think the play has been enough, right? You've seen him continue to get better. If we're being honest, and again, we said we'll have this conversation after, it's one of the he's one of the better summer league players that is playing right now. When you look at how his numbers are, his percentages and stuff like that, 3-point percentage hasn't been great, but that's going to be a work in progress all season. So I'm fine with you sitting him out because of that, because that's what you do when your players show that, hey, they don't need this to improve. They're fine and they're up to speed on what we're trying to do. But there's no way I would have let you sit me down after that's what happened in the last game, bro. It's no way. I'd have been like, "Coach, you got to let me play a quarter. I dunk on somebody." There's no shot I'm not getting somebody back, bro. Y'all got to get my get back. I got to get my get back. And I'm looking for Furphy all year. He may not even make the team.
That's what's crazy about it, right? That may be Furphy's NBA moment, bro. That may be the greatest moment of his NBA career.
What he been doing, man? What if he been cheeks the whole time? But no, I think that he has shown enough. There's not going to be this massive development that's going to come from the last couple of games of summer league here. You're not making the summer league playoffs or whatever that weird thing is they do every year. Yeah. That's dead once you lose a game, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I think this is the most logical path that you see most teams do. You saw it when Cooper Flagg, of course, had his big game. Cooper Flagg had kind of a mid-summer league. And then that last game, he went absolutely ballistic. the second you saw that, you were like, I don't want to see Cooper Flagg out there. All right, we know he can score. He's up to speed. Sit him down. We don't want to see him get hurt. I feel kind of the same way about what happened with Noah.
Yeah, I think like, first of all, the fact that he even played out the thigh contusion, because we both kind of said that there's a chance that they shut him down after that, not risk the injury, but he came back, he played, he had his best game. And I think at that point, like, you've seen enough. Like, to me, I've seen from Noah exactly how, if he gets, and I'm not expecting him to play a lot of minutes right away, but if he were to get minutes, I've seen how he can play, how he can fit into what the Bulls need. His energy, his ability to be a lob threat, to get out and run, and his shot blocking ability. Yeah. Those are things, and his defensive ability too. Those are things that you need, like this Bulls team can use right away, regardless of how efficient you don't have to dribble, you don't have to shoot a lot of threes in that case. You don't have to do a lot of those things. Like, there's a role for him here. Now, he's going to have to earn the trust of Billy Donovan, as every rookie's going to have to be. We've seen it, we've done it. Like, that's there. We know he's going to have to earn the trust of Billy Donovan, but I, for me, in my evaluation, see what he can do to help this team. That's all I really needed to see in summer league.
Johnny Furphy actually having a decent summer league. I'm sitting there looking through his numbers. He competitive little player. And he's like 6'9".
And then when you factor in, like, you realize Tony Snell is one of the best summer league Bulls of all time.
Yeah, it don't mean summer league don't mean nothing. But I will say this, and I think, this is the part that they really wanted to see, the Bulls really wanted to see, because it's not just that Noah sat out, Modest sat out as well. You wanted to see how those two were going to work together. Let me ask you this, dog. Does this feel a little Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler-ish to you? Kind of how they trying to push these two together. Now, they're not drafted in the same year, so it's different. Yeah. But I saw them yesterday, and then they both sat, and I was just like, it doesn't yet, because you got to keep in mind, they're taking out op-eds and newspapers about the new Twin Tower duo. Weren't they on the cover of Slam magazine as the new Twin Tower? Like, so they're not going. I think that there's an internal confidence that these two guys are going to be the duo for the Chicago Bulls. And you should do that. You drafted them both very high up. They're both lottery picks. You should be thinking that. But I don't know if there was that overconfidence. They really thought Tyson Chandler was going to be the next Kevin Garnett and Eddie Curry was going to be the next Shaq. They really thought that was going to be what we had. That's crazy, bro. To think that at any point is crazy, bro. I don't know, man. I saw the picture of them hugging each other and stuff like that. I was just like, they trying to make this kind of like the Twin Towers type thing and run that back. And I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I feel good about that. That didn't work out. The wildest thing about Tyson Chandler was when he said, it took me getting traded to realize that I could lose my job.
That's crazy.
I was like, what?
I mean, what reason would he have to think he'd lose his job here in Chicago?
He wouldn't have. He literally wouldn't have lost his job. I think after he left, who was our big?
Then we traded him because we signed Ben Wallace.
Yeah,
and then we
Ben
got
Wallace,
Joakim Noah
right?
the year after that. Yeah.
And then Joakim Noah tried to fight him. Bro, it's crazy.
And I'm always going to go back to Joakim Noah. Just gaslight everyone. You think I would try to fight the strongest person in the league? 10 years later, yeah, I tried to fight him. Like, it's like,
bro. It's literally that was 10 years in between, but it's literally the Rick James skit. Now, why would I fight Ben Wallace? Why would I put my hands on a dude that they call body? I tried to fight body.
Somebody just needs to cut it together, bro, because it was like 10, 11 years apart, but he finally admitted it. It's like, thanks, Joe. Thank you for finally admitting that you did try to fight Ben Wallace.
Everybody else on his team was out there like, nah, he tried to fight him. He was crazy. We was like, he's going to break you in half. Like, please.
It's like they suspended, or didn't they suspend it for a game? They didn't suspend you because you didn't try to fight somebody.
No. I don't even think. See, this kind of tells you where the Bulls were at that point too. I don't even think if I remember right from what he just said this year, I don't think it was even a team suspension. I think the players told him, like, they went down to Orlando and they were like, "You're not playing tonight." So like that tells you kind of where the team was at. They were like the players are suspending you. He said, "Yeah, they ain't played me for like 3 games." It's like, "You're not playing tonight." What?
That is hilarious, bro. That is funny, man.
Oh, man. But hey, man, we got to talk about speaking of being sat down and out of the rotation. Who do we think is going to fall out of this rotation? We got interesting additions to this team here. Trey Jones is back. Noah Essengue has been added. Who's going to get into the rotation? Who's going to be out of the rotation? We'll talk about all that coming up next. But first, got to give you an ad read from Monarch Money, ladies and gentlemen. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building your wealth. Listen, y'all know, with the new kid on the way, I have gotten back into the fast food. I was working out well for a while, but now the kid's here. Got to get back into the gym. Got to get the money back right. Got to let go of the McDonald's. Been able to do all of that with Monarch Money because it showed me just how much money I was spending on all the food that we were bringing in. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first purchase. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. More Locked On Bulls coming up next.
All right, Pat.
Just realized my camera was weirdly mirrored on that. Did you notice that?
No, I did not. Not at all. Usually I can only tell if your camera's mirrored because your background. You can barely see your background with your angle now, so I wouldn't know.
That was weird. All right.
Hey, that Jack in the Box open up by you yet?
Not yet, bro. It's dangerous times, bro. It's dangerous times. But I'm going to budget it into the account with Monarch Money.
Hey, Monarch, give me a Jack in the Box budget. Thank you very much.
It's dangerous, bro. I drove past that. I literally went, ah! Hey, bro, I swear to God, I did.
Hilarious. All right, so this rotation, Pat, like there's going to be Billy Donovan's going to have to make a tough decision. I mean, I think the guard rotation is pretty set. Giddey, Coby, Trey Jones is probably going to be your guard rotation with Isaac Okoro playing some guard minutes. He's probably going to play the 2 and the 3 there, maybe even Kevin Huerter, depending on certain matchups. So I think that's pretty much set. But then when you look at your 3-4, you got Isaac Okoro, Kevin Huerter, Dosunmu, Patrick Williams, Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, Modest Buzelis, Noah Essengue. That's 7 players that can play the 3 or the 4. You got 2 spots. Billy Donovan typically only goes 8 or 9 deep with the 10th guy that fluctuates, sometimes gets minutes, won't get minutes for 3 games, whatever. Right now, who do you think is your 10-man, 8-9-man rotation for the Chicago Bulls?
I think you're, of course, going Coby White, Giddey, Javon. I'm joking. Dosunmu. I can't even joke about it. I can't even joke about it.
No, because it just my brain. You said you're joking literally a millisecond after saying it, but my brain just heard Javon Carter and almost went into a rage. I was about to say, Pat, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, go get your coffee, bro. Your brain's not starting. Okay. So Josh,
I got Coby. I got Giddey. I've got Ayo, Vooch, Modest. I'm getting the easy ones out of the way here.
That's your starting 5. You're starting Ayo.
Oh no, I guess if we doing starting 5, I would go Giddey, Coby, Modest. I still got Vooch at the 5. I would probably say Okoro cracks that.
Okay.
I would probably just for the defensive addition to have that in the lineup, I would probably say that, unless him or Ayo could, but I would think you would want Ayo to be off of the bench. For me, I'm gonna let Okoro crack the starting 5. And then off of the bench, I got Ayo. I've got Trey Jones. I've got still P. Will. And probably Kevin Huerter.
Okay. So
I would assume
no Zach Collins in your you going small ball 5?
I think it's pretty obvious. We know we want to go small ball 5.
Okay. No,
I think that's pretty obvious there.
Okay. Yeah, mine is much like yours. I do think though that you do want to bring. I agree with you. Want to bring Ayo off the bench mainly because not only is he can pass well in transition, he can start the fast break as well, and he's a solid rebounding guard, so you can simulate some things there. I can see Ayo being in the starting lineup, but I agree with you on the starting 5. No, I actually don't. You have Isaac Okoro. I think Kevin Huerter is going to stay in there for the starting 5 for the ability to stretch the floor. Yeah. But I can see Isaac Okoro starting. If Isaac Okoro's 3-point shot is legit with better volume, that defense could put him above there. But I do think Ayo, Trey, Zach Collins, and Okuru coming off the bench.
And for everybody wondering why no Noah Essengue yet, Billy Donovan.
Yeah, Billy Donovan.
Yeah, we're not going to see Noah Essengue really until the second half of the season.
Yeah. Now, the P. Will part of it. You still got P. Will in there.
That's whose job.
How long is the leash on P. Will to be in the rotation with Noah? Julian, keep in mind, Julian Phillips was getting off the bench before P. Will to end the season last year. But with Julian, Dalen, how long is P. Will's leash this year?
You ever seen a dog tied up to a tree and it tried to chase something around the tree like 3-4 times, and then eventually it's like just sitting there like neck up against the tree saying, well, P. Will just went to sleep. He's not barking at all. He's laying next to the tree, just right up against it, and didn't even try to go backwards. Didn't even try to unwind the chain.
As you said before, he's like, yeah, I accept this. This is where I am now.
Bark. That's all P. Will got left. Just bark. He does not, in fact, have that dog in him. But I think that, to me, that's probably the person who ends up getting the job taken by Noah Essengue. I think the Bulls are at a point right now where they know what P. Will is, and it's why they were trying to get rid of P. Will at all costs this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? Was it Casey Johnson or Joe Cowley? One of them was like, there is no market.
Yeah. I think
like they literally were like, do you want P. Will? And they were like, no.
Yeah. For people who are like, why is P. Will still on the team? Because nobody wants him. That's it. Nobody wants P. Will.
P. Will got that cat in him. It's crazy, Raquel. Why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but the dog in me.
He has no dog in him, so he's not chasing it. But if Patrick Williams loses his spot in the rotation to a rookie in back-to-back years, it's GG's. Just leave him on the end of the bench there.
His mental's gonna be shot.
Yeah.
His mental's gonna be shot. At that point, it's like, not to say call it a career, but kind of. Like, yeah. I'm sure somebody's going to take a chance on him because he's still young, but like, he's going to be on the bench for the next 4 years of this contract.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, I mean, I think when do you expect to see Noah starting to get consistent minutes in the rotation?
Around the end of December. By the end of December.
Yeah.
You say consistent minutes in the rotation. I mean that's probably when we're going to start seeing with the consistent 9.5 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
That's what I mean by that.
I'm about to say, dang, he took that job quick.
Yeah, no. Now, if you ask me when does he take over, like takes P. Will's spot in the rotation, probably around the All-Star break.
Yeah, I can see it. We'll see, and maybe P. Will be moved by then. Maybe they'll find a suitor for him. Somebody will need a forward that don't move his feet well. But hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I implore all of you to go to the Chicago Bulls roster on NBA.com and look at the roster. And just tell me why EJ Liddell got so many teeth. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer.
You guys follow me at CEO Hayes. Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, Fubo TV, basically anywhere you want us. You can get it. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, y'all. Peace.
Nah, for real, it's a lot of teeth, bro. He got more than 32.
That's crazy.